everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Christina and today I have a collab video. So today's collab video is with the beauty reviewer. She asked me on Instagram a few weeks ago, I believe, or a couple weeks ago, after I said that I wanted to do more collabs in 2020. She sent me a message and asked if I wanted to do this one with her. So this collab is an eyeshadow roulette style series. So basically this series was started by, I believe, Sarah Rose, and she basically wanted to do the Pan That Eyeshadow series, like what I'm doing, which is a project pan, and kind of make it a little bit more accessible. So the rules to this series is basically you do like you would do with Pan That Eyeshadows. You randomly generate colors from your eyeshadow collection and you use those colors for a month. Now with these, the goal isn't to hit pan on them. The ultimate goal is just to use them a couple times that month and to create different looks. And I figured since it's not a project pan, I don't have to worry about hitting pan on it. It's just mainly to use them. I thought this is completely doable. So again, the beauty reviewer asked me to do this collab with her, so definitely go check out her channel. She was also doing this. Her video should be up and I will have it linked down below. I also just have her channel linked down below and her Instagram, so definitely go send her some love, tell her I said hi, and definitely make sure to check out her video. And now that I have all of that out of the way, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button because I do upload on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard, and I do a lot of project panning. I do a lot of other makeup related videos, so if that sounds interesting, definitely make sure to hit that button. And now let's get into picking my colors. So if you watch my Pan That Eyeshadows project pan, then you know I have a Google Sheet which is behind me with all of my eyeshadows on it. I take out the colors that I've hit pan on off of that list, so this is basically going to be only shadows that don't have any pan in them, and that's the way I like it. So one of my goals for the year, I never announced this anywhere, but one of my goals that I came up with and thought to myself was I wanted to use all of my eyeshadows this year. I don't necessarily want pan in all my eyeshadows because that would be impossible, but I would like to try and use every single shadow in my collection. So this I think is going to be a good way. You randomly generate 5 shadows every month that you get to use. So I think this is a good way for me to use palettes that I don't typically reach for, color combinations that I don't typically do, and it just gives me incentive to actually use everything. So 5 shadows every month, you know, that's pretty good. It's definitely not all of my shadows. Between this and my project pans, I think I should be pretty well covered. So now I'm rambling like way too much. Let me go ahead and pull up a number generator so we can get going. I just typed in random bumber generator. What's a bumber? My phone doesn't even know. So we are gonna go ahead and generate. It picked number 30 as the first one. Let me get my computer here. So number 30, let's see, where are you? So number 30 is from my Violet Voss Holy Grail palette and it's the color Thanks a Latte. So I'm pretty sure that's a neutral transition shade. Let me grab that palette and also change my battery because my battery has now decided to die. Hold please. Are we good? Are we live? Okay. So here is my Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. The shade, the shade we picked. Oh, it's not a matte brown. It's this one. Thanks a Latte is right here. It's like a matte white. This is basically my skin tone, so this will be really good to set the lid with. I should be able to use this like practically every day. You can't even, you can't even see that, can you? That's the first shade. Generate. Second shade is 167. 167 is from my Marvelous Mauves palette and it is the color Spaced Out, which is the second one. So let me grab that palette. We're getting some different palettes than what I've used lately. So here is my Marvelous Mauves and it's the second shade in here. So it's this guy right here. Also a pretty light-ish tone, but I was gonna say, well, it's mauve. Well, yeah, of course it's mauve. So there is that guy. It's a nice, like, good, soft transition shade. This will be really pretty for right now, actually. I was gonna say it'd be pretty in the spring, but we're in January, so that's not a plan. All right, so shade number 3. 189. 189 is from my It's Judy Time palette and it's the second shade in there. So let me grab that palette as well. I'm actually really excited. It's pulling a lot of shadows that I haven't used in a long time. So here's my It's Judy Time palette and it's the third shade. Is that what I said? 180, 189, the second shade. So it is this gold shade right here. Real pretty. I mean, that's a nice lineup. We have a matte white to set the lid. We have a nice pink for the crease. Actually, I think the mauve would be really pretty with the gold. Like, that's a nice lineup so far. All right, 2 more. So next, it's gonna be the shade 51. Let's go up. So 51 is from my Picante palette. and it's the shade Embers. That one is in my Pan That Eyeshadow series, so I'm glad to have repeats in a little way, because then I won't have so many eyeshadow palettes at my everyday makeup station. So here's my Picante palette. We are currently trying to pan this guy in my Pan That Eyeshadow series, and then the one for this is going to be the one right next to it, so Embers. It's this really pretty yellow gold. I've actually used this one a good bit because I just think it's a really cool shade. It's really similar to that other gold. It looks really similar on camera, but in person, Embers is definitely a lot more yellow and a lot more intense than the one from the It's Judy Time palette. So that is a shade number 4, just one more now. So last shade for this is going to be number 95. Number 95 is from my Milani Bold Obsessions palette. Let me go grab it and I'll show it to you. All right, so it's very, oh, there's fingerprints all over it. Hang on, hold please. So here is my Milani's Bold Obsessions palette. The color we picked is the color Slate All Day, which is this guy right here, which is like a cool tone taupe. Ooh, it's kind of schmooky. Let me put it next to the mauve. Ooh, next to the mauve, it's kind of cool because it's like a cool tone lineup. We have like a couple warm tones and a couple cool tones. That's kind of neat. So that's an interesting color palette. The golds look so similar on my hand, but I swear in person they look different. Like this one's definitely a lot more champagne-y and this one's really yellow. So it is different. That, guys, is our 5 shades. It looks like I have 4 because the first one literally is my skin tone. But that is the 5 shades that I'm going to be using for the month of January. We will be updating every month and bringing in new shades every month. I'll tell you how many times I used these shades in the given month, and I will hopefully remember to take eye look pictures. Now, these will be used in conjunction with my Pan That Eyeshadow series, so a lot of these will be used together. I'm really hoping, especially with like the shades I pulled from the Picante palette, that I can really use those together and make some really cool looks. I'm really interested to see what I can do with this mauve shade and how I can incorporate that with some yellows. I think that would be really cool, like color story on the lids. So I'm very excited. But again, we will be updating this every single month. We'll be bringing in new shades every month, and this is just so we can get a little bit more use out of our eyeshadows. It's a nice roulette style, not too much pressure because there's nothing that we need to pan. It's just, you know, getting some use out of our shadows that we wouldn't have paired together. So I'm very excited about this. And again, thank you to the beauty reviewer again for inviting me to do this collab with her. Definitely go check out her channel once you leave. Send her some love. Check out the colors that she picked for this month, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also make sure to hit that subscribe button before you leave, and hopefully that means I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye!